Hello, my name's Rupert Huchev, and I'm the Chairman and Chief Researcher of the Hurun Report. Now, over the years, a lot of Chinese entrepreneurs have come up to me to ask me my opinion on how to go about sending their children to study overseas. The US, UK, Canada, Australia, Singapore, and so on and so forth. But there's been a clear trend of, especially post-pandemic, of these entrepreneurs wanting to keep their children close by to send them to a local international school in China. And so I started looking into this probably about 10 years ago. And I went around quite a lot of these international schools in China, and I felt that the standards really varied very dramatically. And yet every time you went to the school itself, the headmaster would persuade you that his or her school was far and away the best school in China. Look at these different numbers they had. So I looked into it a bit further, and I found that, for example, in this list that we put out today for the 5th year running, it's the Hurun Education Top International Schools in China list. And I found that the average age of these schools was really very, very young. It's only 13 years. 13 years is like nothing. You know, in the top 100, number 100 school in the UK or in America, probably going to have 100 years of history by comparison. 13 years also means that they've got very few graduates to sort of talk about. And so I started this international schools listing just by doing peer voting. It's as simple as that. I asked this year 350 heads and teachers from the international school systems, and I said one question: which school, in your personal opinion, does a good overall job in education and prepares students well to study overseas for university? The more votes a school got, the higher up the ranking they get. That was as simple as it was. And over the years, we refined the methodology slightly. This year, for example, we've got 20% of the weighting of the overall is now based on your university destinations of your graduates. We're getting some graduates coming through the system. And then 10% are your CCAs or co-curricular activities, you know, including your facilities that you got at the campus and the coaching teams and so on and so forth. And this schools list is, I hope it can be useful for you. I think it's targeted at 3 types of people. First, of course, it's parents who are looking to find the right school for their child, and maybe this list can be of some help for you. It's also targeted at teachers who are looking to work in a school that's being well recognized by the industry insiders, if you like. And then it's targeted also at university admissions officers, so as to help them have an idea as to what the overall quality, at least from the industry insiders' point of view, for these schools. Now, so today we got 2 main lists, if you like. One is for bilingual schools. It's basically for Chinese passport holders and foreign passport holders. And the top 100, as I said, for the 5th year running, you can see where they're in Beijing and Shanghai make up half the schools. And then Guangzhou, Suzhou, and Shenzhen make up another quarter, just to give you an idea. We also did a top 30 schools for foreign passport holders only. They're in slightly different systems. And here, again, it was mainly in Shanghai, but then also in Beijing, Shenzhen, and Suzhou, Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen, where these schools are based. And we always want to innovate, and this year we got 2 sub-lists, if you like, they're editorial opinions. And then one is looking at the best school campuses. So we found actually that recently some of the new schools that have been built, they've got fantastic design teams. They've got really amazing campuses. And they've put an awful lot of energy and money into it. And so we decided to try and recognize those who've got the best facilities, you know, the best quality facilities, state-of-the-art facilities, sports grounds, and so on and so forth. If you're an old school, it's great, but you still have to keep up with the modernizing your facilities each year. We found schools like in Shanghai, the Shanghai Qingpu Pinghe School, which is really quite an amazing project. In Guangzhou, there's a Guangzhou Aisha, it's called in Chinese. In Suzhou, and so on and so forth. There's a whole lot of really beautiful campuses that are worth looking at. And you know, children spend so much time in the school campus that if the school campus is beautiful, it enhances their study experience, if you like. And we also did a final sub-list, which is looking at the future stars. So those new schools that have opened but haven't got graduates yet, and you know, which school teams, maybe great headmaster or headmistress, and great sort of teaching team that's got a lot of respect from the industry insiders, we put them on the list as well. Okay, well, look, there you go. That's a brief interpretation of today's Hurun Education top international schools in China. I hope it's of use to you. And I'm always very sensitive putting out lists on schools because it's obviously not just about the best school, it's about the best fit for your child. And so that's something that, please take every ranking with a pinch of salt. But on the other hand, what I think you can look at is that this ranking is surprisingly been stable in the sense that you haven't seen the top 10 schools suddenly the next year drop down to number 80 and then suddenly bounce back up again. No. These schools have been pretty stable. Top 10 might drop down to top 20, top 30 might go up a little bit, and so on and so forth. Over the years, it's been pretty stable. And with the pandemic at the moment and a lot of travel restrictions, these schools have had a lot of challenges as well. But my final comment is this, is that the quality of education that some of these international schools are doing, the quality of universities that they're getting their graduates into is really becoming pretty serious, pretty good. And so they're definitely worth looking at. Thank you very much.